Our students, as you very well know, are talented, motivated, willing to take on great challenges, both inside and outside the classroom, and they are exceedingly generous in sharing their time and energy with others. Noelle Parsons from Austin, Texas, exemplifies these qualities. Noelle is a double major in human communication and ancient Mediterranean studies with a minor in theater. Therefore, she's a typical Trinity student. Her academic achievements speak for themselves. She is a member of the Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society, Phi Beta Kappa, Lambda Phi Eta, the Speech Communication Honor Society, and for 7 semesters, I'm not sure what happened in the other one, she has been named to the Dean's List. Maybe she'll reveal it later on. When not in the classroom, she has also been fully engaged in the campus community, serving as president of Phi Delta Kappa sorority, a ministry team leader in the Catholic student group, and a first-year student seminar peer tutor. Noelle is also a distinguished representative and a tour guide, so if anyone gets lost on campus trying to find the reception, follow Noelle. Her options following graduation are still being carefully considered, but we know whichever she chooses, she will utilize her many talents to their fullest extent. It is my pleasure to present Noelle Parsons, who will speak on behalf of the class of 2013 and cheer up some of the long faces that I'm seeing out there. So, Noelle.
Hello, class of 2013, families, friends, faculty, alumni, and Board of Trustees. I am so honored to be standing up here speaking for you this morning. Today, I'd like to talk about change. I have never been a fan of change. It terrifies me, to be perfectly honest. While I realize that change is the one thing in our lives that does, in fact, remain constant, it still is difficult for me to deal with. If I like things the way they are, why would I want them to change? So the thought of leaving Trinity and moving on to the real world is challenging for me, to say the least. But as much as I don't like change, I have learned that change can lead us to greater things. Our time at Trinity has been marked by quite a bit of change, particularly building-wise. We know what it's like to walk around campus where there's random construction zones everywhere, and we know all the ways to get around Upper Campus. Maybe was completely redone halfway through our collegiate careers, and CSI has been an impressive feat to watch go up in such a short period of time. These things might be disorienting for people who don't like change, but surprisingly, I have come to accept them as a part of the culture of Trinity. Because to me, Trinity is not about the red brick, and it's not about the buildings, though they are lovely. It's about the people who make up this wonderful institution and supportive community. Even when buildings are knocked down and the campus itself changes, the true essence of Trinity remains the same. I want to share some stories from my time here at Trinity that I hope many of you can relate to or remember as part of your own Trinity experience. So, let us first head back to our freshman year of college. I'm not sure how many of you remember this, but during new student orientation, we were given the opportunity to climb the Trinity Tower for the first time. It was really hot outside, but nevertheless, we all lined up and proceeded to climb the tower, one after another. Loud music was blaring outside, and I very distinctly remember that Don't Stop Believin' by Journey started to play. Suddenly, everyone inside and outside of the tower started to sing, and the sound reverberated throughout the tower. It was one of those otherworldly experiences. For that moment, I wasn't thinking about how I had just left home for the first time a week before. For that moment, I didn't feel like I was in a sea of strangers outside of the comfort of my own high school. I could not believe that I had a bond with my class so quickly, even though I didn't know anyone's names. Speaking of which, I have never met so many 18-year-olds who shake hands with people when they introduce themselves. Practically everyone did that during my first couple weeks at Trinity, which really impressed me because the swine flu was going around at the time. That is dedication to kindness if I ever saw it. As for sophomore year, adapting to new situations, particularly at the last minute, is not always easy. Unfortunately, Texas weather is a very fickle friend. Sophomore year was the year that bid day was canceled. Now, I know not everyone on this campus is Greek, but I'm sure you remember Miller Fountain being frozen over. We had rolling power outages on campus for that entire week, and I definitely had rhetorical criticism class in the dark one day because Trinity doesn't cancel class. For Texans, this was a snow day. For Northerners, this was pathetic. For my suite mate, this was the first time she'd ever seen snow in her life. Sometimes the most unexpected changes of plan can create the greatest of memories. I still remember hearing the excitement from people running around the Thomas parking lot in their pajamas late that Thursday night, screaming and laughing. Even though I still stand by my decision to go to bed instead of play outside, it was awesome to see such pure happiness in the eyes of those who did. Speaking of awesome, junior year, we lost an awesome classmate and friend, Alex Reynes, a change that no one could prepare for. I knew Alex back in high school when we competed against each other in drama tournaments. Even then, I could see his zest for life. When we found each other at Trinity, he immediately remembered who I was and came to greet me, much like a typical Trinity student would. His loss was unexpected and tragic. But what I will always remember are the balloons that were released on his birthday and the bench and olive tree that Trinity placed outside of Miller Dorm in his honor. These losses are the most monumental ones we face, and unfortunately our campus had to face another one this year. But the love and strength that everyone at Trinity showed for one another during that difficult time really brings us closer together, a bright spot in the midst of sadness. This year has been marked by some bittersweet moments because we've had to experience our last of everything we love about Trinity. We put our hands up at the Welcome Week concert. Sang along during Trinity Idol, and spilled hot apple cider all over ourselves at Christmas on Oakmont because we were just so excited about the food. Okay, maybe the last one was just me. We attempted to avoid senioritis, though not always successfully. We cheered on our friends and classmates playing their last collegiate athletic games, and we witnessed some amazing last performances on the Trinity main stage. Even though the word last is sad, I think these are the times we remember best because we don't take them for granted. Trinity is a special place. The students here are smart, but they're not pretentious about it in the least. People here are nice, and not just civil nice, but genuinely nice. People constantly say excuse me and apologize when they accidentally bump into you, and more people than not know the name of their favorite Maybe or Coates employee and have a rapport with them on a daily basis. Kimmy, Yolanda, Alice, I'm talking about you. That brings me to the people who work at Trinity. I just want to thank everyone who has helped any one of the members of Class of 2013 through our time here at Trinity. On behalf of this class, we truly do appreciate it. Even if we move on to different places, these bonds can still continue and grow. Gina from the Coates sandwich line made me cookies for Christmas. Raul from Facility Services once gave me a ride across campus so that I wouldn't be late for a class presentation. Dr. Hansen constantly dealt with my panicked emails. And finally, Dr. O'Sullivan called my dorm room when I was an hour late to his final exam freshman year because he was worried about me. Turns out I have a problem with alarm clocks, but I have not stopped thanking Dr. O'Sullivan for letting me take that exam anyway. Those are just a handful of one person's experiences throughout 4 years here. Imagine how many incredible moments make up this class of 2013. That is worth just as much as the phenomenal education we have received here. As for the class of 2013, I can't say that things will remain the same for us. They won't. But our memories of this outstanding institution and the relationships we have formed here will always be an important chapter in our lives. That won't change. I think that's why graduation is exciting, because no matter what happens, all of us graduates share memories that are forever going to link us to Trinity. We get to join an already supportive and successful network of alumni who have the same love for this school as we do. Trinity builds a community beyond this red brick campus, even though new buildings are put up and old ones are torn down all the time. This at least allows for our transition from college students to graduates to be that much smoother. We'll always have Trinity there for us if we need it. I guess one thing I have learned throughout my time here at Trinity is that as much as one campus can change, what is most important stays the same. I'll close with some words from John F. Kennedy that I think are only appropriate. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Congratulations on your graduation, class of 2013. Remember what great times we have had here, but also look ahead to the exciting things in your future. Thank you.